Okay, by now you've probably seen the headline a few hundred times, like I have, that according to this MIT study from early September, that 95% of AI projects are failing, right? The bubble is about to burst. Wrong. Now, this article from MIT has been debunked multiple times over the last month, and I thought it was a dead story. I just came back from a trip to Montreal, had 5 hours on the plane, and without internet, it failed, and had lots of chance to think about some ideas. And this one hit me as the story is not done yet. I have a few more things to add to it because it's still echoing. So many people are talking about it and saying, oh, I heard all these AI projects are failing. Should I be investing in it? And people are pulling out their money from the stock market thinking we're in a bubble. Here's my take on it. So hello, my fellow AI architects. My name is Mike Schwarz. I am the CEO of MyZone AI. I help small to medium-sized businesses become AI-first organizations. And I've been doing digital transformation since 2000. So first of all, what is this MIT study? They analyzed 53 organizations across 300 AI pilots, and they found out across these enterprise organizations that 95% of the pilots failed. And this blew up. It was echoing everywhere across social media. Headlines, like I saw it hundreds of times just on YouTube and news feeds, and still a month later people are still talking about it. Actually tonight, what inspired me, thank you, one of my YouTube influencers friends, David Shapiro, was talking about his take on that story a month later. And why is this story continuing? We'll talk about that in a second, but it still has legs. So here we go. And the first person I saw debunk this was Wes Roth, one of my favorite AI voices on YouTube. And his point was that enterprise tools that were made by third parties, and they were trying to implement them into your organization, as opposed to people just building from scratch or using general purpose models. That's not what they were analyzing. It was just these third party pilots that you would come in and hit your IT team with and say, hey, let's test out this new AI for legal or AI for customer support, like off the shelf, plug it in, 95% failure rate. When you drill down in the report, though, they saw a 40% success rate from general purpose LLM projects. So that would be like ChatGPT Teams plan, or now called the business plan, or implementing Gemini workspaces or Microsoft Copilot, although those don't seem to be having the best success rates. But we saw a 40% success rate from the general purpose projects are being implemented, which is quite high. And there was another stat in there that was very positive. It said they had over a 2x increase in success when the AI project was being implemented by a third party, somebody like a company like ours that has expertise and has been working on AI success their whole careers, have a lot more success when people are just sort of winging it on their own and trying to figure it out with their internal IT teams, or even not their IT team. So that was sort of Wes Ross's take on it. Now, what David Shapiro, a brilliant AI influencer, was saying tonight is that a 95% failure rate with AI pilots is actually quite normal. And he has a lot of experience in that space. And companies are just constantly testing. And when those 5% work, it's changing the world. Like, it's laying off 50% of an HR department or 80% of customer support teams. So the 5% that are winning within those pilots are absolutely massive. But his point was to say that, look, this is completely normal in the world of tech pilots. These aren't big public initiatives that we're talking about. Companies are running pilots constantly, just testing things out, and that's completely normal. I wanted to add my take on it just from 25 years of working in media. Like, I started in early 2000s, like before Google Ads and Google AdSense and the whole sort of digital marketing landscape took off. And one thing that I've noticed over my career is that the incentive models with media have been changing. Like, we've moved to a post-truth society. We just can't believe anymore what we see in the press because the incentive structure for media has changed. Media is incentivized to get you to click on things. Right? That's how they make money. And we've seen newsrooms get hollowed out. There's very little accountability with the press, and press has become polarized and politicized. And it's all about making money. These are just private corporations that are trying to make money. And how do they make money? They get you to click on things. So when your click-through rates are high, they make money. They don't care about the truth. They have financial incentives to care about the click-through rate. So When everyone's all excited about AI and that's the story, that's what you're going to see. And that gets echoed through social media echo chambers. The AI algorithms within your news feeds on social will adapt dynamically between what they think you want to hear, what you are most likely to click on, what's going to give you the biggest dopamine boost, not what is right, what is correct, what you need to hear to help your business grow. They're like, what's going to make me money? And so right now it's favorable to jump on we're in a giant AI bubble phase, that AI is going to fail. That's what people are clicking on, whether or not it's true. That doesn't matter. So don't believe the headlines. We're in this echo chamber period of media, and we have been for a long time. So there are things that you can do to succeed. First of all, the general purpose model implementation, like getting onto ChatGPT Business Plan or the new Gemini Enterprise, which came out today, like these programs are working great. And 40% success rate at this early stage is high, and that will continue to rise over time. So you should be doing that. The second thing we learned from this study is that you need to work with external experts. The results were speaking for themselves, like over a double success rate when you bring in an expert that does this for a living. Don't try to do these things on your own. I can tell you this, like people think of me as an AI expert. I've been studying this stuff for 25 years now, and I still feel super lost and I'm confused and overwhelmed with AI. So I can't imagine how companies who are just stumbling into this for the first time must be feeling, but bring in an external expert to help you, like a fractional CAIO or an agency that specializes in AI adoption. It makes a lot of sense. And the data was backing that up. And know that it's a lot more than just grabbing some tool and bringing it in or coming up with an idea and then trying to automate something. There's steps, and we've developed this framework over the last 4 years called the MyZone AI Blueprint. It's a 10-step framework for AI adoption. The first step is awareness, and step 3 is education, and it goes all the way up to like step 10, where it's some sort of transformative idea that will revolutionize your entire industry. And if you don't follow those steps in the right order, your failure rates go way up. And I'll give you an example of that is you might have this amazing idea for automation, but if you haven't looked at your culture and your core values, if those values aren't aligned with, say, innovation, adaptability, flexibility, the immune system of your organization could shut that pilot down. Or if you don't have your data properly prepared, if your data isn't API accessible, if it isn't properly labeled, if you haven't stored and organized and enriched, centralize your data properly, you won't be able to see success with AI projects because they have to live off of your data. And if your organizational data health is non-existent, it will fail. Or if we're trying to automate something and you don't have the process properly documented, just stuck in somebody's head, then we can't automate it and then the project will fail. So there's a whole bunch of things that have to happen first. So long story short here, this summary of what I'm trying to say is don't believe the headlines. You can't believe pretty much anything you see in social media today. The incentive models are just to get you to click on stuff that they think is exciting or fear-based, and that's leading people in the wrong direction. That we are seeing double the success rate when people are using external experts is completely normal to have a 95% failure rate on rapid testing of pilots. Now, this study was just for enterprise. It was not for small business. The smaller the company, the higher success rates that we're seeing. And yeah, AI works great. You just have to roll it out properly. And I would say over the next 1 to 2 years, this video is going to age very well. This is a period where people are being highly skeptical for the wrong reasons. And those early adopters, those innovators, the AI architects that are out there building this new brave AI first world are crushing it. They're seeing massive ROI on things when they roll them out in the correct way. So those of you that are already rolling out AI projects, I'm pretty sure you already know the story, but those of you that are on the sidelines and feeling skeptical, like maybe I should or shouldn't invest in this, go blindly forward into this. All of the time that you invest into AI will be absolutely worth it. AI is winning and will continue to win. Thanks.